Hello, and welcome to the Gaia update for the Aquarius new moon that's happening on Thursday, February 11th, 2021. So the new moon in Aquarius marks the beginning of Chinese New Year. So Chinese New Year is on February 12th, when we will be moving into the year of the yin metal ox. So it's interesting, this astrology, this culmination of intensity as we complete the Chinese New Year of the rat. And all rats are being exposed with this current astrology, because what's happening is that leading for this new moon, Venus and Jupiter will be together in Aquarius in exact square to Black Moon Lilith. Now, Jupiter has 3 squares with Black Moon Lilith in February. One in the first week, second week, third week. One at 11 degrees, 12 degrees, and 13 degrees. 1, 2, 3, go. So we are having a buildup of energy, and what a crazy shift going from all of that heavy Capricorn energy into the light airy sign of Aquarius, but we don't even know what to do with ourselves. Maybe this Mercury retrograde and these intense squares are helping us adjust to the lighter vibrational frequencies, because the light is flooding in to our world right now, but the last hold of the lower matrix is also clamping down. But this light is exposing the darkest dark. And Jupiter is like opening the door, shining the light on the darkest places of this world, our reality, our psyche. So it's a really intense time, because just before these Jupiter transits, the first one happens on the 6th, I believe. The first square with Black Moon Lilith is the 5th, 6th. So the second one is going to be for this new moon. And so, but before that, Mars was with Black Moon Lilith, and Mars, the warrior in Taurus, just stirring up all of this energy. And so these Jupiter squares are exposing and shining the light on the darkest dark. And what's happening is a great cleansing, a psychic purge. And it's not pretty to look at. It's that healing crisis, because we're having to look at everywhere inside of ourselves that we've taken on the shadow programming. And we all had to do it to be here. We all had to be here. We all had to choose a body. And as an advanced soul, you chose a body in one of these very powerful lineages that's also very distorted and sick. So all of that is being exposed. And with Black Moon Lilith in Taurus, it's about our wealth and worth, the shadows around wealth and worth, the shadows around the feminine, and the shadows around physical form. The shadows, the distortions around sexuality and the feminine on all levels inside of us and in the world. And squares always have this tension, right? Of, no, you can't go this way anymore. You've got to make a big shift. And we're trying to make this huge shift into the Aquarian age. We've got this massive stellium of planets for this new moon in Aquarius. We've got Saturn, Venus, Jupiter, the Sun, Mercury, and the Moon, too, for the new moon. Whoa! So 5 planets and the Moon, all in Aquarius together. And Jupiter and Venus in conjunction for this new moon. Now, Venus and Jupiter came together 2 years ago and 2 months ago in 2019. And this kind of started this whole chapter of this exalted feminine, of the feminine, the divine feminine coming back into her power, cleaning up the feminine. We've been doing a lot of work on this in the last few years. And when Jupiter and Venus went over the galactic center together in 2019, that kind of started this chapter. So really powerful that Venus and Jupiter together in Aquarius, right, still feeling the effects of this greater conjunction this new age, this new era, this new time. And so Venus and Jupiter, the goddess coming into the prophet, and the feminine reimagining her role, her destiny in this next chapter. And her destiny is to come into the divine healing power of the feminine again, to pick up the sword of the healing power again. And incredibly empowering for the feminine here. And Jupiter always brings light, expansion, more. It's an amplifier. So we got more feminine, more darkness, more exposure, so that more healing can come to the planet, because it's time, And so incredibly intense times as all is exposed, and we have to look at everywhere we've had to buy into this bullshit programming, where we have bought into all that was light about us and good about us and our love and our compassion, our healing, was something bad. Because the worst thing for the monster, for the darkness, for the vermin of this world, the parasitic reality we've bought into, the worst thing, the biggest fear is that it would be exposed. Because once it's exposed, it can be cleaned up. It can't be cleaned up till it's exposed. So, the narcissist, the ego, will do everything to keep from being exposed. And when it's exposed, it will often backlash and anger and attack, right? And that's kind of where we're at right now. There's this wrestling of the light and the dark, and the healing power trying to come back into its place here. And this is where this incredible time of empowerment for the SuperNova Soul, because you have this huge level of healing ability within you. And it's being called out into the world, and it's being called out of the corners and out of the shameful places, out of all that programming, because if you are of the light and you've been coming here as the light worker and advanced soul, and especially in the Piscean Age, then just who you are, just by existing, you're a threat to the shadows, to the darkness, to the corruption, and you expose that. And then you become the demon, right? It's much easier to make the messenger. When you can't attack the message, you attack the messenger. And that's who you've been. You've been the messenger of light, and you've been attacked again and again. And you know what? You stood up and you did it again. And you came back and you did it again. And now it's time to grab deep down into the recess, this power within you, and understand that it's time for this to be all that's been hiding this power inside of you, or disconnecting you from this healing power, all exposed, all healed, and time to full throttle come into expression of what you have to offer here, because it's time and we need it. And that's this new moon. So the new moon in Aquarius, like I said, speaks to, it's the beginning of the Chinese New Year the next day, so February 12th, the year of the metal ox. The ox is about strength. It's associated energetically with also the buffalo. It's about establishing strength, which is very Taurus. Taurus is ruled by the bull. And so it's got this energy of strength and stability, but strength and stability in the physical, new earth, new commodities, new value systems, establishing a healthier and better way now that we're coming out of the year of the rat. But isn't it interesting that this last week of the year of the rat, huge bloom of shadow exposing psychic healing, exorcism. It's a great exorcism on the planet of this dark disease. And isn't that interesting that that's happening as we culminate and finish out this year of the rat and move out of the 2020 energy? I think we're ready for this, right? But are you, right? Because this is where we're at right now. Because of the Mercury retrograde in Aquarius, we haven't been able to fully embrace the Aquarius energies yet. And but it's very different. It's a turning of the table, turning of the tide from that Capricorn energy. But we're so used to that. It's all we know. So this Mercury retrograde is really important as it gets us assimilated And are you really ready for the Aquarian age? Are you really ready to go from being attacked, targeted for the light that you are, into unleashing your healing power into the world and receiving the support you need to do that, right? That's where it's like this deep, dark recesses in the Taurus, Black Moon Lilith, the dark side of the moon energy is about, where we've all as advanced souls bought into that our light was darkness, our healing wasn't wanted, it was rejected, it's a bad thing, But it's time for a revival. So the theme of this new moon, with this deep, dark, shadowy hidden, the influx of light, the door being cracked open, the light flooding in, and receiving this activation, receiving the support, receiving the shift, receiving the energies, receiving the new financial support system. And all of this is speaking to, so the first theme that came forward around this new moon was a soul retrieval, like this Aquarian energy, just bloom of Aquarian energy, and moving into the Aquarian age, and the fact that SuperNova Souls, you are here on the planet to usher us into the Aquarian age. That's why you even bothered here. And here we go, we're doing it. And you made it through all that crap, and now you finally get to do down to work with what you really came here to do. Now you get to fully live the life you have not yet lived. Are you ready for that? Can you receive that? Can you receive the abundance after all this lack? And that's all you know, lack and attack. Can you receive this new world? And that's what we're kind of working out. But so this new moon in Aquarius, this bloom of Aquarian energy for the SuperNova Soul, is an activation of the part of your soul, this advanced part of your soul that you may have disconnected with. And it goes back to Atlantean time, so most SuperNova Souls took part in the Atlantean time, and then also took part of the catastrophes in Atlantean time, which caused this fall of consciousness, right? Which was a deliberate attack on you, advanced souls, to disconnect you from your power. But now, it's because you were working with advanced technologies and ancient wisdom in Atlantean time. And so now those are available to you again. It's time to land home this part of your soul. So that was the theme that came through with this new moon in Aquarius, is this soul retrieval of like who you really are as an advanced soul, and that healing power and this understanding and this strength of self to be able to work with these energies now in the full expression, now that the earth is ready. Very soon, ready. I'm telling you, humanity is going to be forced to be ready to receive this healing. And but then as I examined this energy deeper, it really came more, the more appropriate word than soul retrieval, although that's the truth of what's going to be happening, what we're working with on the activation, I think, but a soul revival. It's an awakening of this part of you that's been so big, your big giant self that's been having to hide and disconnect in order to stay safe and alive, right? And now it's like the power is unleashing this healing power within these souls. And it's like not holding back for anybody, right? We've all been taught and programmed to turn our light down, turn our healing power down, so that we don't disrupt those patterns and create conflict, right? And get killed and attacked. But now this strength is welling up in these souls, this revival that's like, I don't care. Healing is good. This just feels so much better, and I got to go with this energy. And it is not my concern, the effect it has on you, because it's only good. Yeah, it's going to seem bad when all of your demons are exposed, but that's just for a little while. Just right now for this next couple of weeks, right? But we're all in it together for sure. No matter who you are on the earth, we've all taken on this garbage, and it's coming to the surface to be healed. Jupiter bringing the energy of the prophet, the light shining on the darkness so that it can be healed, cleansed, released, and bring us back to a healthier place in order to move forward. So the soul revival is coming out from this dark winter energy, coming out of from the psychic attack, because the deal is that the dark monster energy is, like we said, it's like the worst thing for it is to be exposed. And so it's doing everything to keep it from being exposed. But you and who you are as a soul just has the effect of exposing this. And so the attack has been coming at you through these souls that actually are crying out for healing. These souls are crying out for healing. These injured, fractured pieces of humanity, but they're also angry at you for exposing the darkness, and they're scared, and they're acting out and lashing out. And so you got to put on that armor of God and know that the attack on the light coming from whatever force around you that's unconscious, and any soul, anybody around you, it can come at you, but it's only validating the power of healing that you have that's so needed in this world right now. But just, it's an intense time to definitely, now when you're expressing your healing gifts, we talked about how that's like, this is a field of energy, and then attack can't come in because you're so strong in that righteousness. You're so strong in the righteous truth of peace and love and compassion. And you're not going to give that up 1 minute longer to any other agenda. And that creates a field, a force field. That's that armor of God. And that attack just can't come in because now you're just standing up in that truth. So it's an incredibly scary time, enlightening time, empowering time, and all is being exposed so that all can be healed, cleaned, and released. And this divine feminine exaltation of this great goddess, this great mother coming to the earth and cleansing, just wiping it all away, And you are actually playing a very deliberate, important part of this process. And once you get into it and you're in the project and you're expressing, it's just, you're going to feel so much better. And we're right there. So just be real, be true, keep your cleansing your psyche, your field, your physical body as a way to support this psychic cleansing in the collective, and hang tight in the light, because you got this. We got this. We made it this far, and we're going to make it over this last hurdle, and claim this empowerment, and claim this strength, and claim this righteousness, and claim back our house, our beautiful world that we need. And we demand and we command this earth to come into her full potential. The Eden star, birthed again as Venus in conjunction with Jupiter in Aquarius, heralds in this new age, and a new goddess who has been cleansed and purified. And that healing power can now be unleashed on the world. This beautiful balm of love and compassion to hold us in the arms of the great mother, this new mother, this Gaia consciousness as we go through this shift of evolution together. And so thank you for playing your role. So much gratitude coming through for you souls right now, and stepping up to the plate yet again. And what a powerful force you have within you, and a beautiful, beautiful energy of empowerment right now, of the jewels. This excruciating, it's like that carbon being pushed into a diamond, and the beautiful jewels that you have within you that have been locked away from you, coming into this full expression, And so here we are, and hang in there. Very potent and powerful time. This new moon happens on the 11th, and then Mercury turns direct on the 21st. So we've got about 10 days in between. That's going to be very interesting energy, where we're not quite ready to move forward, but massive dismantling of those dark corners being revealed. So we need you, and thank you, and we love you. And let's stick together. And I look forward to seeing you soon, hopefully at that new moon in Aquarius activation, SuperNova Soul revival, and on the next update. Until then, I'm Adrienne Elise. Namaste.